Hello and welcome to the London Bulls podcast with me, Tom. A little bit of a different setting today. We've ventured out of the usual spot and we're in the pub. We're in the Imperial in Hereford, which I don't think's too bad a thing. As you may have noticed, I've got a guest with me today. Long-time suffering Hereford fan. I think we all probably would describe ourselves as that. But I've obviously got Gary Bradley, Tango to your friends. But how are you today, Gary?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks, Tom. Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, well, no, it's good to have you along. You've done so much. We were talking about it just now, but I think we probably should open up really with the fact that we're managerless as of today. The podcast going out on the day that Caddis was sacked. We will obviously talk about it shortly, but just quickly, what are your thoughts on that sacking?
After the fans forum on Saturday, where he was kind of backed, I do find it strange, the timing of it. Do I think it's the right decision in the long run? The guy's on a learning curve himself. You can't deny what he's done over the last 2 seasons with allegedly a restricted budget compared to others. And that budget was sort of increased this season and the recruitment hasn't quite been there. So in our current predicament, life and times of football and football manager, I think it is probably the right way to go, unfortunately. He seems a hell of a nice bloke and his work is off. So in that regards, I feel sad for the fella, but again, it's a cutthroat world, isn't it?
It is. You say that is football management. Obviously, today as well, Tottenham's manager Frank got sacked as well.
Do you think we get him? Is he slightly out of budget?
I think we've got a chance. You know, he'd be looking for another job, a rebound club. So why not? Why not us? I mean, look, the first 2 seasons were a lot better, weren't they? That's something we all enjoyed. But this season's been not as good, but nowhere near.
No.
And I think that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the crux. Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get into that, into the detail of that shortly. But let's talk about you for a second. So, you, as I said, long-time Hereford fan now. Where did it all start for you? What were your early days of watching Hereford?
I was 5-6 years of age. My dad was a player locally, and we used to drive past the ground, obviously. In the winter months, you'd see the floodlights on, and I would always be, what's that kind of thing. And so I badgered him. Of course, he played on a Saturday, so that was out.
Yeah.
And for my birthday, and I can't remember the exact date, but we played Northampton Town at home, and we lost 3-2. And I think, and somebody will correct us if I'm wrong, we lost 3-2. But I think it was Vince Hilaire, who was a fairly well-known player of Crystal Palace and things like that, scored with a kind of bicycle kick. The winner. And I just looked at it and I thought, wow. Of course, I took in the sights and the smells, and I was just in wonderment.
Yeah.
And then I badgered him again and again and again. And then lo and behold, he turned up Saturday morning of the Arsenal game, saying, come on, get your coat on, we've got tickets.
Yeah.
And we sat on the sort of sand behind the goal at the Blackfriars End. I mean, obviously in those days you could pretty much do what you liked. So where the gravel is, actually behind the netting, sat there, and I was hooked, absolutely hooked. I couldn't believe that there would be, obviously I didn't get the fact that we wouldn't be playing Arsenal every week, but to have that, not at my disposal, but at the disposal for everybody, was just amazing. And I was badgering him then to take me whenever I could. And then obviously as I got old enough to sort of kind of go on my own, 12, 13 years of age, I went from there. I've been regular ever since, you know. So,
It's a punishment, isn't it? No.
well, I mean, I could go into details about my father, but I've forgiven him for a lot of things, but I've never forgiven him for taking me to Edgar Street and suffering me
it's
for
funny
that.
isn't it? I think it seems like everybody's first game was a loss, or wasn't
Yeah.
certainly wasn't a win anyway
No.
at Hereford, and I think
Yeah.
it's funny how we all just sort of cracked on with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, those early days, you know, you mentioned those first games, and see the Arsenal game. I mean, just incredible.
There was
time, really, wasn't it?
on Match of the Day, they panned out the ground at the end of the Arsenal game, and you could just see my dad, myself, and my brother. We had padded mauve coats on, and we were matching, and we could just see us walking around the pitch towards the tunnel area. And I'll never forget. I keep trying to find it on YouTube, but I haven't been successful yet.
It's such. I mean, you know, amazing memories of that, and obviously we had Man United in the cup, and Tottenham.
I had my bike stolen, queued up for the ticket, and they managed to. I chained my bike up to the railings, you know, as the car park, the players' car park, as it was now, and somebody had actually ripped the pole out of the concrete and stolen my bike. And bear in mind, there was probably 3,000 people queuing up from about midnight. Nobody saw a thing.
Funny that. Oh, yeah, all right. So not quite not such a good memory then, but yeah. I mean, obviously over the years you've done, as I said, you've done a lot. You've done fulfilled lots of different roles. But I mean, obviously founding Huisa. I mean, that's a massive thing, isn't it?
I'm proud to say that I was a founding committee member of Huisa, along with Andy Graham, God bless him, Kev Wargin, Mike Quarrell, GFB, another famous one, Nicky and Dave White, forgive me if I forget a couple, and I mean, again, that was purely and simply to try and give back to the football club, Graham Turner as it was at the time, that's all I've ever wanted to do really, is try to be as involved. You know, I'm not academically clever, I'm a bus driver, I tried to give back what I possibly can. You've got lawyers and bankers and what have you involved, etc., but if it's mucks and brass, sign me up.
Yeah. Well, I think, a club like ours, it needs, obviously, there's always, volunteers are always talked about. I think that's one thing that Stig and Jamie have talked about a lot in their time, and that I know that obviously Paul Caddis appreciated it as well. But a club of our sort of size, and the fact that we haven't got the big catchment area of these other teams, you need people to step up, don't you?
Yeah.
So, I think it's important, that you do that. And obviously as well with Hust, you're involved there as well.
Yeah, again, I was on the original steering committee, and then was lucky enough to be voted on to the first Hust committee. Again, just to sort of try and give back. Some people say I'm nosy because I wanted to know what was going on before anybody else. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we all feel it. It's our football club. But no, I mean, I wanted to give something back. I've met some wonderful people still there. Like I mentioned, Nicky and Dave White.
They're fantastic, aren't
they? Brilliant. I mean, Jamie. I've known Jamie since he was a wee lad. And he was still bloody wearing those shorts.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
At Merthyr on just after Christmas, he was wearing his shorts. It was so cold. I don't know how he did it.
But I laughed at the fans forum on Saturday because he wasn't wearing any. He was wearing a pair of trousers. So I thought, but yeah, I mean, I helped do the original Hereford ladies.
Oh right,
coaching them on a Saturday morning. But the junior ball stuff with Jane Griffiths, Jamie's mum, and things like that. Marcella, some wonderful people there, and they're the fabric of our football club. So I'll try to give that sort of feeling back.
I mean, you talk about wanting to give back. I know that you've raised lots of money for the club over the years. Obviously, we've nearly gone out of business several times. We have gone out of business and starting again.
Yeah.
I know it's the love of the club, but why do you feel that you want to do something like that?
It's our community. I mean, this will sound really sad to a lot of people. Trying to explain to a non-football fan what that feeling is for you, whether you're Man United, whether you're Leighton Buzzard, or whether you're Westfields, for example. That is your community. That is your hub.
Yeah.
Without them, I still stand on the terrace with my best friends from 15, 30, dare I say it, 40 years ago. I stand with my godson now, and his dad, who's my best friend. My best friends, Polly, Stu, Walgie, have brought their daughters through. Tracy brought Max through. You got the Beaches, remember the Beachster? Well, so without them coming through as well, and we've all shared in that experience. I mean,
it's this is the thing, isn't it? This is something, as you mentioned earlier, that is your life, isn't it? It's not just it takes up a lot of time, which it does, but also from the age of sort of 6 or whatever 5 you said, that you're still there now. It's so important that we get the kids involved and make them want to keep coming. And I think one thing I would say about Hereford FC, it seems like, I'm not saying Hereford United didn't, because we all grew up doing it, didn't we? But Hereford FC, I've seen a lot of children where, they seem to be coming, and I think, is it the mums and dads that have decided that they're going to make a bit more of a go of it?
Well, that's it. At the end of the day, they start that with that. You can sit and watch Match of the Day and things like that, and until you actually experience it. I mean, again, I dare say there have been people where, where's little Freddie this week? And it's always been my joke. I'll bump into, you've been a good girl this week. No. Well, you better behave, because you'll be coming back next week, won't you? It's. But we all do it. Some fall by the wayside. I mean, even my own stepson was coming. He's gone on now. He's 20 years of age. He's got a job. Priorities. Don't knock him for it. I don't knock anybody else for it. Some of us, it sticks with us.
No, absolutely, and it's and this is the thing, isn't it? And we're still here, still doing it. You just to add another string to your bow, you organised the away coaches for a long time. What was that like? Because obviously there's a lot of planning and preparation goes into it.
Honestly, it was quite funny, because I mean, back when I was sort of 16, 17, 18, I wasn't driving and all that. If a coach didn't run, I didn't get to an away game. So kind of that scenario
Is that what
arose. Well, I'll be honest and say yes. I mean, back in the days, my mum and dad used to go nuts because there was no mobile phones and no internet and no online booking.
Well, of course,
So I'd walk in, after work or I'd been out, and there'd be a long list of names and numbers. The landline would be going every 10 to the dozen. So I mean, it was good. It was enjoyable.
Are there any memorable trips that you've?
Oh crikey! How many? We played Scarborough on a Tuesday night. 13 of us on a 52-seater coach. It was the night Uriah Rennie was refereed and sent off Tony Panic for a professional foul for making a challenge on the corner flag. And then, what was it? Just on the stroke of half time, I think it was. Give Phil Preedy a second yellow. And we lost 3-1. And Howard Clark took a free kick right in front of us. And the McCain Stadium in those days had a grass bank, and a few sort of concrete steps. I'll never forget it. We were actually behind the goal, and the keeper was Gavin Ward. I'll always remember his name. He used to be at Bristol Rovers. And it sort of squirmed through his chest and over his shoulder and just plopped in. And we were off. We were doing Klinsman dives down this grass bank. I was taking after that we took a minibus And I used to take the minibus everywhere, and Mick Loader and people like that, you know, that we all stood next to, and Timsy and Jane, and again, Paul Stew and Wargie and what have you. We love our trips to Morecambe on a weekend.
Right.
You know, when we were playing Morecambe in the conference. And we used to go into the York Hotel at Morecambe. And we got quite friendly with, obviously, the bar staff and the Morecambe lads, so we'd always arrange we'd get up there on a Friday. Anyway, we went marching in on this Friday afternoon. We are, you know, your women and drink your beer, like, you know, as the song goes. And lo and behold, we walked into the middle of a wake.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we walked into the middle of a wake. So we were all sort of like spare parts. I mean, that, and Mick Loader, the aforementioned Mick Loader, bless him, he's an absolute legend, that fella. We were coming back from that weekend, and he was famous for having a comfort bottle. And the A49 was shut, so we had to go through Church Street and then all that way. So I'm sort of driving along, and I beep, 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 and I think, what's this? And flash, 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 and the guy in this convertible Volvo. And I'm thinking, you know, beep, 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 flash, flash, flash. All right, it's a single track, sort of, you know. So I sort of slowed and let him pass. Oh, you know, what's your problem? And he just went, somebody in the back of your bus has just thrown a bottle of the remnants. And he's there in this pink shirt, as you can imagine, a Volvo driver, pink shirt and chinos and what have you, Pringle jumper, absolutely covered. And I was like, oh, okay then, you know. So yeah, we've had some fun. I mean, but again, that's all part and parcel of it. I mean, people used to say to me, you know, I used to work at Sun Valley at 20 years of age. I'd thought nothing of getting 2 o'clock, getting on the bus at 2:30 to go to Scarborough, to go to Doncaster, to go to Darlington, and then come back, you know, drop off at 4 o'clock in the morning, go straight back into work, have a shower at work, and off I went, like, you know.
Just mad when you think back to it.
Yeah, but never thought anything of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Great experience. Though.
But that's the thing, I mean, that's it, it's experience. Yeah. You know. I've already touched on it, the camaraderie of people. You know, people, I mean, you know, there's people there now that have stood on that terrace probably longer than I have, and I give them a nod. Don't know the name.
No.
But you know he's going to be there, and he knows I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
And you just give that knowing nod, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Especially when you go to an away game, and especially when it's a long one away, you get into the pub, and you're like, oh, is there any Hereford fans around? Is this even a Hereford pub? You know. Yeah. We're going to be all right. And then you see someone in the corner, you've not got a clue what their name is, but you've seen them on that terrace for donkey's years. And it's almost like, right, we're all right now. Or like when we went to Wembley the first time, you know, and obviously went up to the Green Man and drinks up there, and then you got into the ground. And again, it was a bit like going into the ground, because obviously there are a lot more people there than would normally be at a Hereford game. You know, it was, again, you were sort of seeing people you didn't really know, and then all of a sudden you'd see the one person you're like, and we all deserve those days, don't we? Wembley and obviously playoff finals and big FA Cup games.
I mean, I won't fail to admit that I cried.
Yeah, it was emotional, wasn't it?
Hereford United, Hereford FC.
Yeah,
I cried.
Yeah,
Hereford are at Wembley.
Yeah.
And when you go back to the one person, I was just stood in awe, and I was looking round, and sort of double took, and the gentleman sat next to me, stood up, shook my hand. And Ronnie Radford. I was like,
I couldn't let you get any better.
You know.
I know.
Wembley, Ronnie Radford. I think
that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I mean, everybody says now, I mean, 20,000, you know, you only get 2,000 at home, blah, 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 where are they every bloody week? I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. I think Hereford are in a really unique position. I don't think there's a lot of clubs like us where Hereford isn't the biggest place in the world.
No.
And a lot of people, myself included, obviously I'm in London, move away for work or whatever, and then we all come back later in life. Yeah. And so I think a lot of that, you know, a good chunk of that 20,000 are people that used to go a fair bit. Yeah. It's just they've moved away now, they're my sort of age, they've moved on, and so a lot of it's coming back. Yes, okay, there's going to be people that don't go, but why not let everyone enjoy that day? Because it's a big day for all of us, and it's obviously, I know the result didn't quite go our way, but that's football and that's life, isn't it?
I mean, I denied 90% of those that were there.
Yeah.
The result paled in insignificance,
Yeah,
even
it
before a
did,
ball
yeah.
was kicked.
Yes. Yes.
I think the second time round, I know it was smaller scale, 3,000 and whatever you, and you know, we thought, well, Hornchurch, lower league, etc., etc., etc. You know, that hurt.
Yes.
I must admit that hurt. But that first sort of experience of our club.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think we'd all waited for Hereford United to get there,
Yeah.
hadn't we? And obviously
Yeah.
we were so close, weren't
Well.
we? That that 1 or
Bristol
2
City.
years, but
Bristol City and Forest Green Rovers.
yeah. You know, and then and obviously, you know, I touched on the playoff final. I think going to Leicester, obviously that was a big thing for us, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I mean, what are your memories of that day as well?
Well, again, that was so magical. We've been so close, so far.
Yeah.
I was absolutely chuffed because obviously with ties with Huisa and the trust, we were fortunate that we used to meet with Graham and Joan every month, every 2 months, whatever it was and you could see the work that they had put in to that football club, not only just to get it on an even keel, but to get it competitive. I'll never forget the fans forum when he sat there and sort of went, look, we've got to cut our cloth accordingly. I think it was the second or third year in the conference. You know, we can't keep paying that scale for Joe Bloggs, Adam Smith, whoever. And so he was going on the part-time model as well as, and to be fair, you could probably say latter-day legends for Hereford United, John Snape, Rob Elms.
Yeah.
You know,
We had some great times in those early 2000s,
yeah.
didn't we?
But he knew then what he had to do.
Yeah.
It may take us 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years. Well, it did as it turned out, wasn't it? It was, you know, to get the Tony Jameses and the Michael Roses and the Steve Guinans and the way he took good young Rob Purdy, a perfect example. I mean, how can you not laud Rob Purdy? You know, not Wave Some Strays, but the ones that have been released and he had an eye, and the ones that were hungry. And again, I mean, we touched on it on Saturday at the Fans Forum. Somebody asked a question about having these kids from Forest and Villa and blah, blah, blah. We need experience. What do you tie in a Rob Purdy with a Steve Guinan?
Yes. Yeah.
And not just a Steve Guinan that sort of played at a higher level and then sort of dropped. A David Brown that had played at this level for donkeys.
Yeah.
You know, and then you had the talent of sort of Michael Rose and, you know, I mean, we brought Tretz in, you know, Andy Tretton, Solidity, you know, Tony James, you know, and then Greener, you know, it's well documented. I mean, even before that, picked up Michael McKindo.
Yeah.
You know, these alleged, shall we say, had a fruitful past, but turned them into players and turned them hungry.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think this is kind of where we should be now, maybe. But
Yeah.
again,
Well, let's talk about now. You know, obviously, as we said, Caddis has gone today. We are where we are in the league. We're 23rd. You know, okay, we've not played, you know, as many games. We all know that, but we've got lots of games in hand. Are we going to win them? You know, to sort of give a few stats out. So obviously 23rd, 22 points. Played 24, won 5, drawn 7, lost 14. So, I mean, you know, 22 league games to go. Still a long time to go.
yeah,
But we've got to better turn it around. Now, obviously, Caddis has gone. Adam Rooney's been announced now as taking over for the Southport game.
right.
So how important is Saturday? But because I guess against Southport as well. But you know, how do you feel right now?
Well, unfortunately, it's a must-win game now. I've got to be honest with you, if we'd have picked up a point last night at Telford, would it have been such a disaster if you pick up a point there and then concentrate on your home games? But for me, unfortunately, it's a must-win game.
Yeah.
Now, this is where, like I mentioned, is the timing quite right? Would you get him to Saturday? I mean, it was quite strange because when I got the news, as we spoke before, I was actually talking to a friend of mine in Tesco's, and I said, you know, I would give him Saturday in Donington, you know, and then it's nothing ventured, nothing gained, because those are, for want of a better phrase, cemented fixtures. You know, everything else is catch-up.
Yeah.
Then, if those two are gone, Pete Tong, then I think then maybe the time to go. Especially, you could have had another week or so to get somebody in as well. I mean, that's the other thing now.
But have they had an opportunity this last few weeks to get somebody in? You know, it's been, obviously we've been talking about it for a long time now, but and the fans forum, it seemed like we were close to a few players and that sort of thing. So, you know, have we had enough time in this last, let's say, week?
But again, a week is a long time in football. You know, I mean, there's somebody out there on Saturday maybe. You know, I mean, agents clickety click click click. I mean, I could go into that again. Like, you know, we had the privilege, like I say, years ago, speaking to Graham and all that, and meetings and all that, and you kind of got a little insight of, well, that agent wanted X before I even talked to him. You know, that agent wanted Y before we even talked to him. And I hate to say it, I must say, a couple of young lads that we've lost over the last couple of seasons, you know, have had their heads turned. You know, you can have this, instead of the lads sort of thinking proper, what's the word am I looking for? Proper advice. Say, look, stick where you are another 12 months, and you will get that. Don't go there now, but don't, because the agents are thinking, well, I'll take that now, I'll push you there, and then when it all goes wrong there, you're back to where you started. 18 months, 24 months, even 3 years, for argument's sake. You know, Ryan McLean, bless him.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, I think it's
another
probably
season, and then on you go, son.
I think there's probably a couple of good examples of that now. Ryan McLean, you've got Jaden White.
White.
You know, and it's not that I don't think these players have got the ability.
No,
I think they do.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think.
But they needed the experience, and maybe Jimmy Oates is not so much the experience, but just. I mean, it was probably too much of a step. Obviously, that was a big step for him, wasn't it?
I mean, with Jimmy, you don't blame him, do you?
No.
Lad from Australia. I mean, when does that opportunity knock again? You know, but those lads, because let's be, again, it's delusion of grandeur, I say, because we're a big club, etc., etc., etc. You know, you're still playing in a sizable crowd in a decent stadium, no matter what people from the outside tell you. Yeah, it's our stadium. Yeah, it needs a lick of paint here and there or more, but it's our stadium. It's iconic. Where are you going to go from there? You know. So I really wish that agents would sort of butt out and sort of say, look, you know, give them proper advice and sort of say, give it another 12 months. So.
And we'll get you even better.
And then we'll get you. Well, it's
potentially, you know, that's the way you sell it.
You do your job again, you get a better deal. That club will still want you in 12 months. You'll get a better deal, not just take it now. You know, so.
You know, I think Caddis has talked about the crowd and the size of the club and the name as being a draw for some of the players that he has had over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
How would you convince a player now, today, to come in with us being in 23rd, with all these games to play, with who knows who the manager's going to end up being? Yeah, how do you convince a player to come in? And it depends obviously when we get someone in, but can you convince them to come in today rather than
it's a $1 million question though, isn't it? And again, like it's already been touched on, we've been so close with 2 or 3, I believe, in the last few weeks. I mean, Stig touched on it on the fans forum on Saturday, you know, where somebody was offered £1,500 to go and play in the League of Wales. You know? Okay, you're there. Until it's signed, sealed and delivered. I mean, I've already put it on sort of Facebook and the various pages that You know, I stick my oar in at times.
Will do.
This is the time now where players are, whether they're youngsters or whether they're not so much journeymen, but experienced players, are basically told you're not being offered anything at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Our selling point would be, look, I can't offer you $2,500 a week that you're on, or £2,000, whatever figure you are.
Yeah.
I can offer you £500 a week and a shop window.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's a shop window. We've got 23 games left, for argument's sake. You go and score 12, 13, 14. Somebody comes in for you in the summer. We're not going to say, no, we want a fee for him. There's your deal.
Yeah.
Come and do the business for us. Put yourself in that shop window. And then you'll go with our blessing at the end of the season. Will we try to keep you and offer you what we possibly could to stretch it and get you here permanently? Look, have you enjoyed your football? Have you, Tate Campbell said it. Which I think was a big slap in the face, to be quite honest with you. I've got my enjoyment back. Yeah, I'm sure you got your enjoyment back with the money bucks you were offering.
Well, yeah.
But, thanks for that. But that's the sort of pool we're in at the moment.
Yeah.
And again, for a young lad, a 19, 20-year-old lad that's just been told, or by his academy, come down, come and have a look.
Do you think, though, because obviously I know that's something that Turner used to do, was because we didn't have the money, so it would be a case of putting in a shop window. But do you think that does work now? Because obviously money is such a big thing, and I think where we are, it seems like there's so much money around this league, the league below even, to the league above. Do you think that shop window thing is still a selling tactic?
It's not as big as a selling tactic, but this is where you separate the wheat from the chaff.
Sure.
Those who are after the money are going to take the money, regardless of what's on offer. Again, we've spoken about, even Westfield's Pegasus. You'll speak to a few of the lads, and people that are associated with those clubs. They'll go from Peggy to Westfields for an extra £20, or they'll go from Westfields to Shortwood, or they'll nip over to Gloucester and play for Newent or whatever, because they've offered 25, 50 quid or whatever it is extra.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that happens. But then you've got the serious ones that will think, do you know what? Yeah, he's right. Okay. Because at the end of the day, they're still going to be paid by their parent club, for want of a better phrase, or the club they're at now, or their contract will be settled. And like I say, especially a young lad at 19, 20 maybe, probably living at home. I'm not talking Premier League, because even the Premier League 20-year-olds are on probably more than I'm making a week, but again, one chance you're on. But one thing that's been labelled with our football club, and always will be, it's our location.
Yeah.
It's our location. Now, it's well known, Fat Graham used to meet people at Hopwood Services, on the M42. How far is it from here? Only half hour down the road. You still go in an hour later, and you've only just hit Worcester, but that was a famous story Rob Purdy said, wasn't it? But again, I look at what Caddis has sort of recruited over the last 2 years, and this is my biggest worry now, actually, with Paul going today. Would you get a Theo Richardson? That's you could say he's been a big success. He came in on loan last year, and he has been a big success. All right, albeit as a goalkeeper, he's the last line of defence and this, that, and the other. Blah blah blah. He's conceded X amount. He hasn't. In effect, you can count on his mistakes on one hand, as far as I'm concerned. But would he travel from the Fleetwood area, the Fylde area? Skins, I believe, is based in Warrington. Would he travel, without Paul's influence? And this is where we're going. This next appointment is going to be crucial. And how far afield, or how close afield is he going to work in? And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everyone talks about location. You mentioned it there. When it comes to, and it is very different. If you're a team in Manchester, you can have Manchester-ish based players, or people who want to move to
Yeah.
Manchester. So, I think the two outliers that I would maybe bring up in terms of locality is the northeast, because yes, there's a couple of clubs, but they've all got to travel a long way.
Yeah.
And the other one is Merthyr.
Yeah.
I don't want to necessarily
Yeah.
talk about it, but a lot of their players have moved to that area or
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
Gloucestershire or South
Yeah.
Wales. So it's not. So I'm not saying we need to be looking around here. It's not that's the thing.
No.
But I do think there are teams that are succeeding by having players from a closer
wider,
area.
Yeah.
In that
Yes.
respect,
Yes.
that are prepared to move a little bit closer.
Yeah. But-
or prepared to be there, and we haven't got to
but
worry
again-
about players from.
I mean,
Finals.
we went back to the Josh Gowling.
Yeah,
It seems to be lads from the Coventry area.
Yeah.
There seems to be lads from the Birmingham areas, and the PC, it always seems to be sort of the further north of Birmingham you went, happy days.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
hence this is why we train in Birmingham.
yes.
So this is what I mean. Whoever the new
what's
manager
your-
is,
What's your view on that? The training in Birmingham? Would you obviously we'd all
Well,
love to
again-
see it in Hereford, wouldn't we? But
Well-
is that the best of what we have at the moment? Is that the best thing we can do right now?
it's horses for courses, isn't it? If you're going to, like I say, if you're going to attract certain players from certain areas, you're going to have to amalgamate and find a common ground somewhere, aren't you? I believe Willow lives in Worcester. I'm led to believe. I know he works in Hereford because I see him every day walking through Tesco's.
Yeah.
So for him, it's halfway, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, for the lads who are northern based, it's halfway. And again, from anything from this area or lower down, Gloucestershire, Bristol, dare I say South Wales, it's probably much of a muchness to drive hour and a half there as well.
True.
So
Yeah.
I get it. We'd all love to see a training complex in Hereford. We'd love to be all that sort of academy again and all that sort of thing. I mean, that's another subject you could touch on. That's my biggest bugbear about football. How can you not be allowed to have an academy if you're not a football league club? And then all of a sudden Cheltenham comes swooping in, Cheltenham Development Centre in Hereford. Now I've got really good Cheltenham mates, really good fans, love them to death, but how can you allow that scenario? It was touched on Saturday about our youth team, why aren't they used to bench fill?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, and as Stig pointed out, they're under 18s and they're sort of 16, 17s, so they're another year down before they start.
Yeah.
And, without that Royal Development Centre, I mean, can you name the last sort of lad that we had? Really? Mark Derricott? Not being unkind. I felt that Mark was a bit of a token gesture. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I mean, if we'd have had
Mark was the flag waver.
Yeah.
Look, he's a local boy and he's in the squad.
there was a bit of that. I think if we'd have had him when we were in the Midland Prem and the Southern Leagues, I think it was a different story.
Yeah.
And also, I think that would have helped his development, and he might even be good enough for the
Without a doubt.
National League North. But
Without a doubt.
I think it just fell out of time for him, didn't it, at the wrong time?
Oh yeah, I'm not doubting his ability either. I'm just sort of kind of saying that.
Oh no,
he was the token gesture.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, I was at the Ranking Club pre-season when Stig and Paul Caddis were talking, and someone asked the question about, have you sort of watched Pegasus or Westfields or to see if there's any talent locally, And Caddis's answer was, whether there is or not, they're not going to be able to come in now and play, because even if they are good enough at some point, the step is too big and they may not get there. And then you look at a player like Corley Cox, and Caddis looks stupid in that statement because obviously there are players. I'm not saying everyone, Corley's a good talent, and you're not always going to find them, but there obviously is talent around.
Of course
there
there
is.
is.
To be, hasn't there?
Of course there is. I mean, you can level that. What did Martin Foyle do? Fullback escape speed, young lad, young fullback. Oh, his name escapes me. He was dual registration. Oh, forgive me. I can't think of his name.
I can't remember
At
now.
Westfields. Oh, crikey. And that was, in the conference.
Yeah.
We had a couple of lads like that over the years. Dual registration.
Yeah.
Josh did it with his kiddie at Westfields now with the long dreads. Played for what's it called in the cup. The game that got abandoned. Sporting Kelso. He played for Kelso that day. Justice Campbell.
Ah, yeah.
There's lads like that you could actually do at this level. Maybe, okay, they'll be all and end all, but they'll give you 20 minutes here and it'll probably pop up with one. Yeah. They might just surprise you.
They're good squad players. They're not bad. They're not bad options, are they? And then, as you said, if they surprise you, brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, looking at this season as well, where do you feel it has gone wrong? For obviously Paul Caddis he did have a fantastic first 2 seasons, but where this season do you think it's gone wrong? Was it the very start?
Well,
and it hasn't got better since.
Well, I did whether people liked it or not, I did do a piece for Talking Bull after the first game of the season when he played one up front, and I sort of said at the time we can't because Rem Campbell up on his own and he was so isolated and and I just thought to myself, do you know what? That ain't going to work. And then I sat there and I thought, the last 6-7 games of the previous season where we just missed out in the playoffs, he adopted that tactic.
Right, yeah.
And I just thought to myself, Rem, I think he's going to be a big loss because I like the boy. He did everything. Yeah. He did everything, And I just thought to myself, now, and again, recruitment, and we're still sat here now talking about where was the striker?
Yeah.
It was Rem or Willow, or Rem and Willow, or Runes. He brought in the lad from Solihull, McFarlane. The boy from Tamworth. Well, I'm no coach and no expert, but I've seen worse and I've seen a lot better as well. But again, I don't know if the rumours were true about the summer and the eye was and the ball. He took the eye off the ball. He wasn't expecting to be here. Who knows? I don't know.
I certainly believe that there were players waiting to see what his decision was going to be, I think.
But again, unfortunately, I will, as much as I love Stiggy and all that, and that's where the board should, if it was true, they should have cut their losses there, because unfortunately, if you don't want to be here, you're not here.
Caddis talked, didn't he, about players needing to find the right players, and they've got to be committed, and they've got to be this, that, and the other. And then obviously, if it's true, he's done that himself.
Yeah,
he's broken his own rule, and
that's it.
That's disappointing.
And that's what I can't put my finger on it. The conspiracy theorists obviously out in force.
Yeah,
there's got to be some truth along the way somewhere, for whatever reason, it'll never come to light. So we move on.
Yeah, well, this is it, isn't it? And Stig has said as much, hasn't he, that it would be wrong to say certain things. Just got a few stats here from Caddis' time as the Hereford manager. First season, we had a win percentage of 43.5%. So we won 20 games out of 46. So again, not terrible. Best point total we had in the league at the time. The following season, obviously, we got another 7 points, and that would have been enough for the playoffs every other year. But just our luck, not that season. Well. The win percentage was higher, it was 47.8, and then this season, the win percentage has been just under 21%.
Crikey.
Now, we played 24 games and won 5 of them. We've lost the 14 games, which was it 12? I can't remember. But which, if it is 14, it's the same as we lost in I think it's 12 actually. So we're 2 short of what we lost in the whole of last season. And we're going to lose more games this season, whether even if we,
Football
end
is
up going up.
one factor. Football, you'll lose football games regardless of who you are and how well you're going.
Yeah.
You're always going to lose football games.
Yeah.
It might be after 12, it might be after 14, it might be after 26.
Yeah.
You might lose 14 on the trot.
Yeah.
You lose
This is
football
it,
games.
isn't it? And that is football. The goal difference of Caddis' time is -1 over the 3 seasons. And when you look at, I've got the goals per game on here as well, which, again, obviously, it's 1.35 goals a game. So, on average, we're only scoring just over 1 a game. And in the 3 seasons, we've scored 62 goals, 68, and 27 this season. That to me shows what we've all been talking about, which is a striker this season.
Yeah.
But to me, it shows we needed the striker in the last 2 as well.
Yeah. It also shows that for everybody lauding our defence, we can't keep a clean sheet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Football's an easy game. It's won and lost in both boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm sounding like Paul Caddis now. But, sign me up. Yeah. If you don't keep clean sheets, you lose games. You don't score goals, you don't win games. It's simple as. You were there last night, Tom. A lot of people were. I hate to use words that I've seen on Facebook and all that about cart horses and the Titanic turned quicker than the 2 centre halves, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
For me, everybody was saying about your lad coming back from Gloucester and Quantza playing at Kings Lynn, kept a clean sheet. Why are our 2 best defenders in Preston and Hawkins being sat on the bench? Well, Prez, I will say, from the reports, that there's poison toe, and that he's travelled and sat on the bench and made himself available for 10 minutes here or there, 20 minutes here, having an injection. That is professionalism.
Right.
You can't knock it. That is professionalism.
Yeah.
So, but the proof is in the pudding. You've just read that out. Don't keep clean sheets.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a big believer again. Non-league football has advanced so much in the last, even since we dropped down in the conference in 97, 98. Where it was the big 6'4", 6'5" thug up front. The Matt Reeds of this world and the such like. So actually, there are sides with strikers with a bit of guile, and you got strikers who got everything.
Yeah.
The lad at Spennymoor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Every time I see him play, I think, wow, you got everything. So
he always scores.
How the hell have you been playing at this level? I know he's got a big, good, well-paid job, etc., etc. And there was a lad that got released by Birmingham. I think he ended up at Brackley. Ben Beresford, I think his name was. And I was thinking, crikey, mate, fair play, got everything. And then you had the guile of a Jason Cayley. Yeah. Now, to me, that poor boy, I think he's been our downfall. Yeah. To be quite honest. Since he walked out of the door, everybody will shoot me down, I dare say, because, he didn't play, he was always injured. You look at what his injuries were. He had 2 horrific injuries. Wasn't like he was pulling his hammy every 3 weeks, or feeling his groin, or his calf, or a stiff back, or I'm at a wedding this week. That poor boy was unlucky. I honestly thought, Simon again. You look at him now; he's a breath of fresh air, and that's what a running games does for you. Yes, he lacked confidence when he come back in towards the end of last season. You're going to after. How long did he have to sort of hit the ground and get running again?
Yeah, I think I understand. I do understand what you're saying, and I think the only thing I will say to it is he came back in November, and yes, from that bad injury, but he scored on that first game.
Exactly.
So if you need confidence, there it is.
There it is.
And then he didn't score again until Chester.
Yeah, but he didn't get any games, did he?
Well, he didn't start many games. No.
So,
no, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's it, isn't it? But then equally, we haven't had creative players that have been doing what we need them to do. Even Jaden White and Cisse last season weren't creating enough chances.
No, I'm going to contradict myself because I did put it in, and I put it in print. I really did not see what Cisse offered, apart from popping up with the old goal here and there. Well, as it turned out, the old goal in 3,
Yeah.
But by God, I will admit we've missed him as an outlet. We've missed him as an outlet this year.
Last season was to pump it out to him or to Jaden.
Yeah,
And it's,
you know,
we've obviously lost that now.
Yeah, and again, so I'm in the situation with Osborne.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he was superb. Was he played in the wrong position for me? Yeah, I saw him as a number 10, like a Tomo and Evans was, for argument's sake. You know, okay, needs must, etc., etc. And again, that situation, we made him an offer. You know, he doesn't want to leave. And then the next week it's, well, he ain't going to come here for that. He's not sure. You don't want to come here because we don't know where we're going to be.
Yeah.
Well, last week he didn't want to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
This week it's.
So what's actually going on?
Where are we?
Could we not have offered him a contract till the end of the season anyway? You know, and just that's it.
But again, stability again. Isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Then
and I know you want to sign him for 18 months. We all do.
Yeah.
But he's more likely to be here.
Yeah.
Next season, I think, if we sign him for just a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because we've got more chance of staying up.
Yeah.
And then he will stay, won't he?
You know, I like the boy. I really did like the boy.
Yeah.
He was the only flair that we had. And again, you could put that down. I mean, we talked about Big Gus coming in and being that stability. Goes down in the first game. You know, you can't legislate for that.
No,
it's back to the Cowley situation.
And I think we have been unlucky. That first season, obviously, Cowley, Willow was injured as well in pre-season.
Yeah.
So we had the 2 marquee strikers that weren't fit.
Well, we couldn't see.
So we have been unlucky in and there is lots of things where I think we've been unlucky. We talked about the signings that we potentially missed out on that Stig was talking about.
Yeah.
But sometimes you make your own luck.
Of course,
and
you do.
we haven't done enough this season to deserve to be higher up. You know, I say higher up, but you know, to be in the top half where we probably want to be.
I mean, we've relied on Sterling James's set pieces.
Yeah. Well, we've lost.
You know,
this is the thing.
lost
The free kicks have gone, obviously, but also the corners. Like last night, that was a problem.
Yeah.
We had a few corners, and there isn't anyone to take them.
I can't remember the last time Hereford scored a corner.
Well,
to be quite honest with you, it's probably when John Charles was.
I was going to say. I don't remember any in my time.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean that's the thing. Sterling James's dead ball delivery was something else, especially for this level.
Yeah.
But you know, again at 32, 33, 34, you know.
Yeah. I think you're right. No, that's it. I mean, obviously, it's difficult to say who may come in as the manager, but is there anyone you've got your eye on?
Well, I think I'm thinking left field, kind of, because I mean, I sat there thinking this afternoon without knowing that Runes was being announced. You know, again, is that necessarily, you know, is Runes here? Has Runes been told you've got the job until we find somebody?
Yeah.
You know, how does that work?
And have we got anyone lined up? You know, is there anyone in the pipeline already?
I mean, I see the first thing, the last line of the statement was, we're inviting applications, you know, email Nick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't sound like we do then.
I mean, left field, I mean, if it was at all possible, I would go for Andy Wing.
Yeah. I would.
Because he was here under Russell Slade.
Yeah.
So he knows Jamie and, you know, and so
Got feel for
the
club.
infrastructure is there with the personnel. Done a cracking job, Banbury.
Yeah,
So he knows that level. Got them promoted, so he knows that level in and around. Knows the Conference North, because obviously with Banbury, you know. Moved on again, Solihull. Knows the level, knows what's there, what's expected.
Knows our training ground.
It's our training ground, plus. And he went up to Barrow. Okay, things haven't quite worked out for him. You know, the lad took his chance.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair, I wouldn't want to go to Barrow if you paid me.
No,
but... Even though I did go once. We did go once. Gary Cook scored an absolute screamer from about 30 yards and we won now.
See, it's not all bad, is it?
No, it's not all bad. But again, his catchment areas have sort of broadened as we speak. You know, like I say, he's got a finger in all those pies, and he knows the club because he's had a taste of Football League. Would he drop back down to this level again? And the biggest question is, could we afford it?
Yeah. Well, that's a very good question, isn't it?
I will say that a big thanks to Paul for his first job. You could actually, you know, and I'll put it on record, you know, me personally, even though, yes, you've had the tin tack today, you can look at some pride of what you've actually achieved at this football club, you know, and take that forward for you. You know, good luck to you, sir, because, you know, it's a learning curve and you'll take that with you. And, you know, but it can't be like Paul, first job, it can't be. Unfortunately, it can't be.
Not now.
Not now. You know, I mean, this is where
we're too deep, aren't we?
Well, we're rooms. You know, okay. Like I say, I'm worried about that boy.
Yeah.
You know, thanks for picking up the reins, mate. You know, we just booted your best mate out, but thanks for that. And oh, by the way, he's come in now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be somebody with probably 5, 6, 8 years experience. Not just at this level. There's somebody coming up, you know. It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Well, obviously, Hensford have just set their manager as well. I don't know enough about the guy.
I
Obviously, I know he's done well this season. But, and his assistant.
I mean, again, that's football. That's strange to do. They're top of the league.
Well, it is very strange.
They're still top of the league, aren't they?
Yeah. They are, yeah.
You know, okay. Again, you look at the Watford scenario.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there was a lad from Man City on loan from Man City. He's had 3 different managers since he's been at Watford. In the space of, 8 months?
Yeah. It is mad, isn't it?
Owners have got this. Well, that's not good enough. We should be 14 points clear by now.
Yeah.
Football doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Football doesn't work like that.
Do you think the board, Hereford, have left it too, you know, have been too sort of, what's the word, but, you know, kept him on too long, but...
No, again, with I mean, I was in the room at the fans forum on Saturday. You know, Stig sort of, yeah, we've got no plans, etc., and then all of a sudden, all right, albeit you could argue it's another defeat, but it's one game after Saturday. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard a vote of confidence, but you know,
I mean,
that didn't come across as a vote of confidence on Saturday.
It's always the sort of, you know, the death. The sort of word of death, really, of any manager when the board backs you, but because it does seem like they go pretty quickly after that. But I mean, obviously, look, it was poor last night. We lost 3-0. You know, there's no dressing that up. However, if you look at where Telford were and are in the league, and you know, we're not the only team that they've torn apart. So
no, well, I mean, they won 8-0 at Curzon the other week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's another point. Curzon, you know, could we have done better there? Probably, but look, we didn't, and we you know, we lost, and that's we are where we are.
Again, you know, did you envisage just coming back against Fylde in the trophy game, 2-0 down?
No.
You know, football's
or against Curzon 3-0 at home. Yeah.
Well, again, Sterling James, isn't it? You know, but
well, he was
again. You know, you just if everybody had that magic formula and everybody knew what to do straight away, you know. I mean, you look at Arsenal now with Arteta. You know, they're on the cusp, I think, this year, as much as it pains me to say it.
Yeah.
You know, but they've stuck by him 3-4 years.
They have.
Whereas Chelsea would have got rid after about 18 months.
Of course they would have done.
You know, it's all horses for courses. And but I will say that whoever's coming in now has to have had a background of some sort.
Yes.
But also be wary of those that have had the background and have failed miserably at numerous clubs.
Yeah. Russell Slade. Right. Brilliant. Well, let's move on. So, obviously, we've got a couple of games coming up now. We've got Southport on Saturday away. That's going to be a massive game, as we've talked about. You know, they're in 20th. They are 9 points ahead of us, but we've got 7 games in hand on them. They haven't won in the league for a little while now. They lost 4-2 on the weekend to Chorley, which was weirdly the same score as we lost as well.
Yeah.
They drew with Darlington 2-2, and who obviously we've got the following Tuesday, and they lost to Kings Lynn away at the start of the month. That's what they call a 6-pointer. That is a must-win game. Whoever the manager, obviously it's going to be Rooney, but whoever the manager was going to be,
it's a must.
We have to win
game now. Like I said, if we'd have picked up a point last night, you could get away with a point on Saturday, for argument's sake, and then on to Darlington on Tuesday. You must win your home games and pick up at least a point. And in the traditional Hereford way, we lose against the sides that are struggling, and normally beat the top teams or get a result against the top teams.
Yeah.
It seems to have gone the other way.
It does a little bit, yeah. I mean, we have some
we've got a
good
good record at
performances.
Southport, and I'm going to shoot myself in the foot now.
Yeah.
But but we have. I think haven't we won there the last 3 times we've played them? Have we won the last 3 up there?
We certainly, yeah.
But we've always been miserable against them at home.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Obviously, we played them earlier in the season. It was 2-1 to them.
Yeah.
We conceded the first goal once again. They went down to 10 men, and then they scored a second just on the cusp of half time.
Yeah, the lad broke through from halfway.
And although we were a bit better in the second half, as we seemed to be in the second half of a lot of games, didn't we? But we only scored the 1 goal. We couldn't seem to break them down, you know.
Yeah.
And that has been our season.
Yeah. Oh, in a nutshell.
Yeah. I mean, you look at some of the games that we've played, like Fylde was one where we probably shouldn't have lost that game. A draw probably was a fair result.
When Parker scored,
absolutely. Well, and Chester, I think we should have won that game away. But
again, if that ball isn't at that back of the net, it's not going to happen. I mean, again, Willow at the keeper's chest and at Fylde.
Yeah.
And he punted it down the park, and all of a sudden the ball's in the back of our net.
Yeah.
It's fine margins. But the problem is, you can get away with fine margins if you're looking to deal. If you're not looking to deal, those fine margins are bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah,
and I think there's games that could have been won in terms of, I think Kings Lynn away 0-0. We probably could have won that had we have been a better team, but we weren't. But they weren't great. We weren't great. It wasn't that we should have won that game because we played. A
typical stalemate.
But if we played as well as we have done against some other teams, we'd have won that easily.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
You mentioned, obviously, we've got Darlington at home on Tuesday, if it goes ahead.
That's
who were 8th. I mean, that's...
But again...
You know, but away, they, I think, are the 5th best team in the league. So they're going to be hard to play, whatever happens. But obviously, we drew up there earlier in the season. You know, a draw isn't a terrible result against them, but we need to win every game we possibly can.
Like I said, you win your home games, pick up a point here and there away.
Yeah.
Yes, Tuesday night. It'll be a measure of crowd reaction on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll be very interested to see the footfall.
Yeah, it will
be very interested to see the footfall. Because the majority, like I say, you know, online and you read things and you know, look, at the end of the day, those of you that were calling for his head last night got your wish. Let's see you Tuesday night. Let's see you Tuesday night. Because with the greatest respect, we've got tomorrow, which is Thursday, Friday, we've got a game at Southport on Saturday, and we've got a Monday and a Tuesday. Nothing's going to change in those 5 days.
No.
Nothing's going to change in those 5 days.
No.
So, and that's a challenge also for Runes to pick these lads up. And not that I would accuse any footballer in that white shirt of downing tools, etc., etc., etc. It's a measure of them. How are they feeling now? How are they feeling now?
Yeah.
You know, when you sort of see, you know, somebody getting sacked from Blackpool over, and the captain comes out and, you know, we take responsibility as players. How are our boys feeling? You know, how are you going to react, boys?
Look, this happened when it was that time when there were Hereford fans obviously down in the corner of the meadow end after the game. Caddis went over and there were a few words, I think, and that was like the first time where it sort of all blew up a little bit. And Lewis Hudson, obviously the captain, came out on social media and said, it's us, it's not the manager, back the manager. And, I'm guessing that, something will come out at some point. I'm sure Lewis Hudson will say something at some point because he's that type of guy. But
I like the boy.
But I think, do you think to some degree Caddis has been let down by the players a little bit this season? Because obviously some have dropped their level, but is it because they're not good enough anymore?
But again,
is it?
Without being inside that dressing room, or actually being inside the players' heads, for want of a better phrase, you can nitpick and you can nitpick. I put something online on Facebook, about Skins. I thought it was superb. I honestly believe that injury last year took so much out of it.
It did.
It was almost like he didn't want to let himself go 100% in case it went again.
Yeah.
And I think he started the season a bit like that. But I've seen enough over the games that we have had before Christmas, as it turns out. He was getting back to somewhere near his maximum level. You mentioned Huddy, absolute warrior. Absolute warrior, Again, there's another throw your hat in the ring, son. You've got your own UEFA licence now.
Well, yeah.
But again, what level are you at? And
he could be a good assistant to somebody, couldn't he?
Exactly.
Or a good coach,
but
to the next manager.
I believe it was Huddy that picked up Batomo, wasn't it? Preston Batomo, so he coaches lads, and so he's got
he's got an eye for it.
Got an eye for it somewhere along the line. But again, I said about Prez, I've got this poisoned toe, but was prepared to travel to wherever and sit on his bench and if you need me for 20 minutes, gaffer, throw me the shirt. It's no fun having a poisoned toe. I've had it myself, and it's no fun, and no matter of injections, and but he stood up to be counted and played when he needed to, when it was bare bones, and he still managed to get through 90. That's a testament to professionalism. And again, these young lads coming in, where does that leave there?
Well, this is it. There's three very good players that that have got clearly are going to have good futures in football, and they may be being a little bit scapegoated at the moment because obviously they've been brought in, and but at the same time they've been brought in if they're not up to the intensity and the strength of men's football, then that's that, isn't it?
But again, I know I keep saying it. I put it in print. Cast your mind back to that conference season of Peter Beadle, Billy Murphy, and some lad called Bowen. I don't know what happened to him.
No, I think he Sunday League.
That was a breath of fresh air. Go on, boys, no fear.
Yeah,
you got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think that was Beadle's tactic, though, wasn't it?
Because I think it gave the pros.
Yeah.
And again, you go back, you speak to Rob.
Yeah.
Rob Purdy. Luke Graham. Yeah. People like that that were they were a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
They were an absolute, and it wasn't do this, do that, or hold back it. Go and do your stuff, boys.
Yeah. Well, this is what Rob talked about. Purdy talked about the first day that Beadle came into training, and he said, "Look, this isn't on me, right? If this all goes wrong, I don't lose anything here.
Yeah.
You boys, this is everything now.
Yeah.
So these last how many games, you've got to go for it now, and you've got nothing to lose. There is nothing to lose, and what happens, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's almost the attitude we need now, isn't it? And
without a
doubt.
Although I do still feel we do need another 2 or 3 bodies.
We definitely need 2 or 3 bodies,
because that will help them out. But,
so I suppose final question, really, Gary.
Yeah.
Can we stay up?
Of course we can. Of course we can. Everybody talks about you need points on the board rather than games in hand on paper. Look, at the end of the day, it's the old adage. We'll go to Kidderminster and win.
Yeah.
We'll beat Merthyr at home. We'll beat, we'll lose at home to Leamington.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Football is a funny way of putting you up there and then kicking you when you're down
Yeah.
there. I think Graham
Yeah.
said it himself. The highs are a lot higher than the lows are lower. Or no, the lows are a lot lower than the highs are higher.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's football.
Yeah.
It's football. How many times have we stood on a terrace? You know, 40 years for me,
25
for
26,
yourself. Have you battered and battered and battered aside, and then all of a sudden it's a 94th minute corner and a 6'7" lumbering centre half comes up and sticks his meaty head on one.
Yeah.
That's football. Anything can happen. I cast my mind back to the FA Cup in the first season with John Mills when the Godalming Town come up in the FA Cup and the keeper gets sent off rambling outside the box within, what was it, 6 minutes?
Yeah.
Anything can happen in football.
Yeah.
And toss a coin, bump, heads or tails,
Yeah.
it goes for you, it goes against
And
you.
it's what we love about it, isn't it?
Well, of course it is.
You know,
You
I
know.
think because we've had those highs, we've had those lows,
Yeah.
that's what keeps you're
That's-
hooked
You're
at
hooked.
the end of the day,
You're
isn't it?
hooked. I mean, every time, oh, what do you think today? Oh, you know, I sometimes joked when we were playing filed or whatever, if we keep it down to 5, I'll be happy today. You know, it's a joke.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
You know, in my heart of hearts, I'm thinking, yeah, you'll win 1-0. You know,
Yeah,
so
exactly. Well, there you go. Well, look, thank you so much for coming and chatting to me tonight, Gary Tango, obviously. You know, hopefully things look up and we can stay up and kick on.
Yeah.
But say thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming
Tom.
and
Thanks for the
for
invite.
joining me.
Yeah.
And thanks to everyone for listening and watching. And yeah, we'll be back soon with another podcast. And still trying to work on some guests. Maybe I'll get Paul Caddis on, eh? You never know. Cheers.
go on
Bye-bye.
your whites.